Hello everyone, my name is Leyao. Today I'm going to talk about my thesis, Language That Appears, Word Usage Predicts Timelessness in Fiction. In my study, I am interested in popularity of books over time. I am going to visualize the popularity trend of books by showing you the data from Google Ngram. It displays the frequencies of words or phrases mentioned in Google Books. We call them popularity as shown as the y-axis in this figure. The x-axis is the year, ranging from around 1920, the years our selected books were published, until 2019. This red line represents the popularity of the book The Fortunate Youth. We can see its popularity peaks around the time it's released. However, it drops dramatically after that. This type of books, we call them the bestsellers because their popularity is strongly time-dependent. However, not all popular books look like that. The blue line represents the book Dubliners. We can see it is not very popular when they were first published. However, its popularity sustains and becomes more and more popular across years. This type of book, we call them timeless. It is because its popularity is not strongly time-dependent. In my study, I want to ask the question, what makes a fiction timeless? A book's popularity can be influenced by a wide array of factors. Firstly, factors that are not related to content itself. The non-textual factors influence heavily on a book's popularity, including features such as socio-political events, marketing strategies, and even just simple luck. For example, in this figure, the blue line represents the popularity of the book The Phantom of Opera. We can see it becomes very popular around 1980. It is because this novel was adapted to a world-known musical. However, there's an interesting idea that recent work are talking about. We might be able to predict a book's timelessness by looking at the actual content, the textual factors. The project The Riddle of Literary Quality shows that timeless books have longer sentences, higher sentence length variation, and they talk about more abstract themes. In this study, I want to look at the word-level textual factors by asking, can constituent words predict fiction's timelessness? To answer this question, we extracted 135 bestsellers based on Publishers Weekly's annual bestseller list and 128 timeless books based on Goodreads' current popularity rates, specifically in 2019. All the books were published from 1909 to 1923. And the text files were extracted from the open access dataset Project Gutenberg. Then we input the text files into the Linguistic Inquiry and Word Count (LIWC) LIWC software. It is a text analysis software for quantifying word-level features in text. It contains a built-in dictionary of word categories. Each category contains a list of words. For example, words such as happy, cried, love, and nice belong to the affective processes category. The software operates by matching words from input text with a built-in dictionary and generates a score for each feature. Usually, the score is a percentage. For example, this 5.15 score represents that in this book, there is 5.15% of words belongs to the affective processing category. As output, each book contains a list of scores. Then we use these scores to classify bestsellers and timeless books by using a special tool called linear support vector machine. We first mix up our book data and then divide it into two groups. One group is for training. This is where our tool figures out the difference between bestsellers and timeless books. The other group is the testing set. It is to check how well it learned. With the training set, it looks for the best way to draw a line that separates bestsellers from timeless books. After training, we use the testing group to see if the line it found can correctly tell the books apart. Then it assigns numerical values to each feature to reflect how much each feature contributes to this line between best-selling and timeless books. We shuffle our data 5,000 times, and each time we make new training and testing groups. This helps us make sure our model really knows how to tell the books apart and wasn't just lucky the first time. In the end, we got the average accuracy rate of how this model performed in 5,000 times and average feature weights for each feature's contribution to this model. As a result, we found this model gives a very high accuracy rate, 72%. This high accuracy rate of prediction model indicates that textual differences must play a role in determining whether a book would be timeless or not. This study reveals that even without comprehending a text's broader meaning, just looking at the word level, certain content still tends to linger with us. This underlines the profound and enduring influence that words affect our experiences and memories. Specifically, from the feature weights, we can tell that timeless books have longer sentences and they have more analytic and more authentic words, while bestsellers, they have more words in general and they have more social and more affective words. From the characteristics of timeless books, we can conclude that they have higher text complexity. Then why are timeless books more complex than bestsellers? Two possibilities are, first, that more complex information requires more effort to process. These deeper levels of processing in turn will enhance memory and chances of retrieving it during communication. A second possibility is that complexity is valued by experts in the field of literature as a criterion of classics, which in turn boosts the probability of a complex book becoming timeless. These studies also find that timeless books have less affective words. It is probably because of a decrease in the literature expression of emotion, especially for the positive emotion, from the 20th century to the present. But the possibility of changes in affective expressions cannot be ruled out. It is possible that contemporary readers prefer books containing fewer affective expressions, or that expressions in previous bestsellers can no longer effectively evoke contemporary readers' emotions. Several limitations need to be considered for this study. First, the operationalized definition of timeless books diverge from the conceptual definition. The conceptual definition of timeless books is books that their popularity is not strongly time-specific. The popularity trends are steady. An operationalized approach to selecting books that align with this conceptual definition should consider the popularity across multiple years. However, the books included in this study are those that were popular in 2019. 2019 is a decisive point of whether the book is selected as timeless books in this study. Therefore, many books that may not be considered timeless at the conceptual level may still be included in this study, such as if a book was not popular at all until very recently. Second limitation is only books written in English were included for analysis. It limits the generalizability of the findings to Anglophone community. Features that contribute to the popularity of books may differ outside the Anglophone community due to culture and linguistic differences. And since LIWC supports several languages, future research can analyze the features of books beyond English. Here are my references. Thank you so much for listening to my presentation.